So, I've been riding this Mongoose Title Pro XXL for almost a year now. I picked it up in December last year. It's the 2019 model. This thing has been awesome. I've loved it. Been racing, been practicing gate starts, putting it to the test, taking it in trails and all kinds of stuff here around Richmond. It's been phenomenal. It's an awesome bike. But I've been wanting to do some upgrades to it. I've been looking at cranks. So today, we're gonna be doing some modifications. Here we go. So the bike's awesome. It's got aluminum frame, it's steel bars, steel forks, steel cranks, kind of your standard three-piece cranks. It's got a sealed Euro bottom bracket, which is great, but the crank arms don't actually attach to the sprocket. So you get some wiggle back and forth, which if you're on the gate and you press down, it's obviously locked in, but sometimes as you go around a turn or you're jumping and you land, things shift and you go to put power down and it's not immediate. And I'm starting to feel that difference. So I'm looking at cranks. The sprocket I landed on, the Profile 46, that rides awesome. 46-16 gear, fits me great. But I'm looking at different cranks so that I can get maybe a little bit of weight savings in my rotation and have a much more solid stance. So, as YouTubers do, let's try this. Here we go. Wait, back to stock? Uh-oh. I think we need more power. Let's try the traditional clap. You ready? Here we go. That worked too good. That's that YouTube magic right there. That worked way too good. That's more than cranks. Look at this thing. All right, guys, this is the Mongoose Title Elite Pro XXL. It's a 2020 model. This thing is amazing. So I was looking to upgrade the cranks on the other one, but at 160 or 180 bucks, I had a friend that wanted the blue one, the Title, and so I couldn't help selling that to him to pick up this ride. This thing has sealed hubs, integrated head tube, sealed bottom bracket, two-piece cranks. It's got the sprocket that is attached and the extra rear supported rear gussets on the dropouts. Now I did put my chain tensioners on. I moved over my pedals, and of course I got to keep my LDC brakes with me. Trimmed down the bars to fit my width that I like, and actually I kept the brake lever from the blue one. It's a little shorter, and I like the stance more so than the one that came on this bike. So anyway, this thing is dialed in. So I'm going to take this thing out to the track tomorrow, catch some clips. The biggest difference on this is the rear end from bottom bracket back. The rear end is an inch longer than the other one, and that inch makes a big difference. Also, currently this is a 44 sprocket instead of a 46, which makes the back end even longer. So I've got a 46 on order I'm going to put on there. That should pull the back end up some, and I can get my manuals back because I just rode it through the neighborhood. It's long, a little longer than I expected. The bars also sit up a little higher. Just the stance of the stem and the bars are just a little bit taller. It's the same rise on the bars, but it just sits up probably about a half inch, 3/4 of an inch higher than the blue one. But this thing, the design on the rear triangle, much more aerodynamic. But this thing is just a fresh unit that's waiting to hit the track tomorrow. All right, we're gonna go with a little bit of speed, but still some caution. These turns are wet, a little slippery. All right, let's go. High on the turn. Now back. Yeah. All right, guys, so this is the Mongoose Title Elite XXL, and this thing, after having it for 2 weeks, this thing's been great. Been catching a couple clips out here right now. I did a couple things I changed. I changed the pedals. I put these on my the last one that I had. I did swap out the brakes. These are the LDC brakes also that I had upgraded on the last bike. And then the sprocket, I jumped up to this 46 tooth sprocket and pulled my chain tensioners from the other one as well, and I had to kind of customize the back end of them to fit far enough forward in these dropout stays. But man, the bike is feeling dialed. Other things that I changed too, I tried to ride, I'll get out of the sunshine there. I tried to ride with the grips that came, the flangeless grips, and I'm just so old school, I can't, my left hand felt like it was floating all over the place. So I put these were on the other, the blue one as well, the Title versus the Elite. So anyway, put those on there, but the bike is feeling super fast, super dialed. It's still about 3/4 of an inch longer than the regular Title version, the blue one that I had. But the bike feels great. The laps are feeling stronger, getting more and more control every day. So I've been super happy with this thing, and I think if you pick one up, you will be as well. One thing I'll say, I'll flip this thing around here. So I had one issue with this. When I got this out of the box, this crank arm was spaced about almost ½ an inch over here. And when I actually took things apart, this bolt right here was stripped out. Now, luckily it wasn't the bottom bracket, but the bolt itself was stripped out. Whatever machine or person put this thing together, they stripped it out. Well, the first day that I came to ride here at the track, I'd put a clamp kind of going between here and the other side and kind of got it in place, and then tightened these bolts down to hold it to the bottom bracket, or to the spindle. But it ended up loosening up and coming off, and I was just starting to pedal into the second turn. Luckily, I was like literally just going into the turn, just starting to ride, not coming around the track, and the whole crank arm just slid off the side of the spindle. I ended up flipping and falling and catching an elbow on the ground. But picked this up from the local store, Powers Bike Shop. They had a couple of them, so picked one up. I took these bolts out up here and the pinch bolts and put some Loctite on them, and this thing has been dialed. I do a bike check now every time before I ride. But outside of that, that was the one issue. But outside of that, this bike has been phenomenal out of the box. And it's really, really a great bike for the price. So that's it for now. Catch you guys in the next one.